All right, welcome, kings and queens. We are back and we're talking part two, y'all, of the Gail Lewis story. Remember, I broke it up. I told you I was going to give you three different episodes divided into three segments. And there's three key players. We have Gail, that's the wife, Gail Lewis. We have Harold Lewis, that's the husband. And we have Sabrina Hutton, that's the mistress that Gail caught or discovered that her husband had been dating for the past couple of years since I'm going to say, actually, she discovered in 2022 that her husband was having an affair.
Oh my God. Good morning, Harold. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you have a good flight. I'll see you on the flight. Oh my God. Good morning, Harold. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you have a good flight. I'll see you on the flight.
She confronted her husband about the affair. He told her it's been going on for a couple of years. So, niggas lie. So when they say a couple of years, we can assume 3 to 4 years. So I'm going to say between 2018 to 2020, sometime it would be safe to assume that Harold decided to strike up an affair with Sabrina. Okay? Today, we are focusing on Harold. It's very important that you all pay very close attention to what I'm saying because not last week, I'm sorry, 2 days ago, when I did an overview of Sabrina, and I told you all I'm working in reverse order. I am going to do my review a little bit differently. I don't think you all paid attention because you got in the comments saying that's not fair to Sabrina that you're talking about that she had an affair. No, it is fair. We have to have all information up front. We can't just jump to Sabrina's story and forget about the first wife who was slighted. So I told you all I was going to work in reverse order and start with the history of Harold and Sabrina and give you some background on how the two of them met. And then I was going to work my way to Harold, work my way to Sabrina, and then finally bring you current to date to what's going on in real time. Does that make sense? All right, let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now. Subscribe now.
Just a little bit of overview. Gail and Harold were married for, let me just say, about 26 years, give or take. Okay. She discovered after calling the airline to see what time he landed so that she could have dinner ready. Let me cater to you, because baby, this is all that good stuff that we sing about and we try to tell women they need to do for men. Okay, she was doing it. She calls the airlines to see what time he's going to land, and boom, she finds out that he has a travel companion that she was not made aware of. And not only is it a travel companion, honey, this is his woman, even though he's a full grown married man. Make it make sense. Anywho, I gave you all of that. That's where we are. She's been updating us on TikTok. There's about 8 parts to her story. We're waiting on one final update. But in between that and this, I'm keeping you updated with a spin and giving you my perspective. So this is part 2. We're focused on Harold. And honey, I did a little research on Harold, and let me tell you what I think is going on. I think when it comes to Harold, he's on some get back type energy. I think there may be some insecurity tied up in the behaviors, which is why we've seen a historical trend of cheating. Harold has been cheating since he had his first wife, okay? Now, I think it comes with a bit of insecurity. And the reason I say that is because Gail shared with us that when she first met Harold, she really wasn't physically attracted to him because he was obese. He wasn't her type, aesthetic wise, right? It's not really somebody she would go after. And he was married. Yes, she knew he was married. But she developed a relationship with him that started off as casual, friendly. First of all, none of y'all ain't got no business making friends with a married man. Move on about your business once you find out they're married. You see how women can find a way to justify, well, we just friends. No, he don't need no friends. His wife is his friend. His children are his friends. Going on now down the road. If you know that man is married, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You go the other way. Honey, like a fire drill. Turn, go the other way. Anywho, they strike up this friendship that eventually turned into a full-fledged relationship. They went out on several dates. And she basically gave him an ultimatum like, don't call me until you get a divorce. All right. Just wanted to level set. And he got a divorce. He ended up getting a divorce or headed that way. And then he took on Sabrina. I mean, not Sabrina. He took on Gail. But I feel like this is some get back type of energy. He had money when she first met him. Now, that was over 30 years ago. And Mr. Lewis brings over 30 years of experience in financial services and mortgage lending. So he is the money man. He is the bag. He is the bag. He is the bag. Let me say it. He is the bag. And Gail met him at the height of his career when he was just getting his feet wet, honey. And let me just tell you, I wouldn't be shocked if he's now, 30 years post meeting her, a millionaire. Now, if what she says is true, based on Harold's appearance, I am going to say, I'm going to give you a little bit more and make a point of why the get back energy. Because if he was fat and obese, but he had money, maybe deep down in his heart, he really knew that women didn't care for him outside of that. And maybe, just maybe, he's always questioned, does she really want me or is it my money? And if I didn't have what I have, would she be with me? Okay. I know we've become accustomed to many Black men that have money. We've become accustomed to them being athletes, rappers, or celebrities. But no, there's some heavy hitters in the real world when it comes to corporate America. And he seems to be one of those. So I do believe he's cheating because he's insecure and because he can. And it feels good to him. And it gives him access to women, a level of beauty that he would otherwise not have access to. But I do believe Harold has a type, and I believe his type is beautiful, a particular skin tone, fairly fair, really light, maybe between 5'3" to 5'6", and she must, in my opinion, she has to be a damsel in distress. Because when I look at the similarities between Sabrina, which is the mistress, and Gail, who was, yeah, you were dating him while he was married. You were the other side chick over 30 years ago. Both of you are single moms. Because I don't think Sabrina's still married, y'all. I know y'all are saying she's married. And if she is, that's even worse. I'm hoping she got a divorce before she decided to go over there. But anywho, there's some similarities. Both of them are single moms. They have the same skin tone, same beautiful faces and stuff like that. Very similar in looks, and it tells me he has a type. I also did a little bit more research. I do believe he has an appetite for Caucasian women. I'm gonna leave that there. That's neither here nor there, but I'm just letting you know where he likes to play, what playgrounds he prefers to peruse. Okay. That's a little bit about this powerful man. Let's move on. Now, I want to give you a little bit about Harold. I established that he is a money man. Okay. And he sounds to be really good at his craft when it comes to his skills. He's good, y'all. He's good. He's really good at what he does, okay? And he has extensive experience in the financial industry. What else did I write about him? He's held positions such as president, COO. He's led portfolio growths from 30 to 30 billion to 400 billion. He has over 30 years of experience in the financial industry. So we're not talking about an average man. We're talking about a man that knows that he's the ish. And he knows where to kind of cast his net. Okay. I believe these women understand that getting with the likes of a Harold would improve their lifestyles vastly and greatly. Gail did say that Harold said, no, we're not going to get a divorce when she first confronted him about the affair, because he said nobody's going to mess up my money. And from the sounds of it, where they are today, he's paying for the house, or could be possibly paying the mortgage on the home that Gail is in, but he's also cohabitating with Sabrina. Now, I could see Harold really taking very good care of Gail so that this thing doesn't grow any legs because of the corporation that he works for. I don't think they would want that type of negative hoopla surrounding their brand. I am not going to share the intricate details of which corporation he works for, but being that this is a newly acquired role since 2023, yeah, I could see him wanting this to go away very, very quickly and as soon as possible. And the only way you can do that, Harold, you got to put something on it. You got to put something on it by way of money, honey. Now, Gail, you make sure you get you a pretty coin. You make sure you get you a pretty coin out of this, because nobody deserves to find out that way. And for those of you that had an issue with me sharing the real background between start to finish between Gail and Harold, yes, she was frolicking with him when he was married. Even she said that she takes full responsibility. And if she needs to apologize to the ex-wife, then she would do that for accountability. Okay. So that's not up for debate. But let me give you a little bit more history about Mr. Harold Lewis. He currently serves as president and chief operating officer of Blank Corporation. Like I told you, that it's in the mortgage industry. He has a very, very, very impressive resume. Okay. From August 2018 until June 19, he served as CEO of a different corporation, a home improvement fintech company, focused on energy efficient and the home improvement. From 2016 to 2018, he was a senior advisor for another corporation, a worldwide management consulting firm. From 2012 to 2015, he served as president and COO of Nation Star Mortgage, one of the largest mortgage companies, servicers in the country. Listen, and that's the corporation where he grew their servicing platform from 30 billion to 400 billion. Listen, this man, listen. Harold, Harold. But do you see how Harold moves around a lot on his job? I can see that happening, in his relationship with women. He likes a challenge. And Gail said that he liked a challenge when he met her. One of the things that attracted him to her is she said no. And he said, "Ooh, I like that. I like the fact that you're a challenge. I like the fact that you're strong. And yes, I've decided that you're going to be mine, even though I'm already married." You get what I'm saying? And that's why I said it was an inappropriate relationship from start to finish. And even after Gail figured out that her husband was having an affair on her, here's what really caused me to pause and take this all in from a different viewpoint and a different perspective. Because he didn't chase his wife. He was not apologetic at all, nor was he remorseful. As a matter of fact, she said she had to go upstairs. Remember, she had to drive herself to the hospital because she thought she was going to have a stroke. When she came home and rested the same day, the next morning she got up. She had to go upstairs to pursue her husband and said, "What can we do?" That should have been on him. And Gail, that should have been a sign to you. When your husband did not show any interest in wooing you, saving the marriage, or consoling you after you found out what was going on between him and Sabrina, that should have been your first red flag regarding his mental state, his state of mind, how he really sees you and viewed you as a woman. And not only that, not just you, all of y'all that voluntarily sign up to be engaged in these type of what? Situationships, entanglements, because that's exactly what it is, okay? Now, Sabrina, same thing that makes you laugh will make you cry. Your time will be up too, because this man seems to get bored very easy, and he's going to move around. Gail did share that there was one time that he was sick. He came down with something. He was sick. She was the one that was taking care of him like a nurse and a maid. Y'all, y'all, I have so much I want to say about catering to men and why it's so important to establish your own identity outside of a wealthy man. Because depending on his heart posture and who he is at the foundation of all of that other stuff, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. If he's an asshole and you give him money, now he's just a rich asshole. You see what I'm saying? If he's a narcissist and now you give him money, he's just a rich narcissist. If he's selfish and now you give him money, now he's just a rich, selfish man. So you've really got to check yourselves, lady, because Gail, you walked into this situation with arms wide open. That's part 2. I'll be back, part 3, to give you a little bit about Sabrina Hutton. Let's take it to the chat.